Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we're taking a look at the Tier 9 Fletcher, the USNDD, and oh, this is probably already gonna piss off some people. I'm not a big fan of the Fletcher, never have been. I don't know why. It's a good ship. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. Before I really get into it, I am joined by Wheeze, also in the Fletcher. And as you can see, there is a Tier 8 carrier. We're in a Tier 9 match, mostly. And things are going to get interesting. So, the Fletcher. Let's talk about the Fletcher. Fletcher, obviously, is one of the original DD lines you could go up. I would say it's probably the DD line that everyone should go up if they're starting off with destroyers, because the USNDDs are kind of the generalists. They teach you really good destroyer play. They teach you how to spot, how to cap, how to torpedo enemies, because starting off, your torpedoes are terrible. Low tier USNDDs have very short range torpedoes versus like the IGN, which almost always can stealth torpedo. So for the most part, your torpedoes obviously aren't going to be the best. They don't really get usable till at least the Mahan at tier 7. So yes, I would say USNDs is by far the destroyers everyone should really play to get a general idea how to play destroyers. I know a player that actually recently started playing, and his very first line he's grinding is actually the French destroyers, which are a very niche and very high skill ceiling DD. So what's really good about USNDDs, besides the fact that they generally are gunboats slash torpedo boats, is the fact they actually have really good AA. I actually am not running the defensive AA on the Fletcher. Yeah, defensive AA does boost your DPM, your damage output, quite considerably, but it's still kind of hesitant on whether or not that's actually very viable. Hakaym has been dropping torpedoes at us, and as you probably tell, since he already dropped 2 racks of torpedoes towards us, he's running a torpedo reload booster instead of the smokescreen. And he went into the islands, and yeah, very interesting decision. Now, obviously, the CV has taken note of our position and has started pushing towards us. Now, this battle, I want to say it's not particularly a great illustration of normal combat between other ships, but it's still very amusing, so this is going to be my Fletcher replay. Obviously, Hakaym is screwed. There we go. Got our kill of the game right now. And, well, we thought it'd be fun to kind of push up middle and have fun maybe with the CV, since we do know the CV is kind of pushing our direction. Now, the Fletcher, as far as health go, it's not particularly amazing. I don't think I'm running fully upgraded Fletcher. I'm trying to think if I am. Because obviously you're grinding the research bureau, which has actually been nice because it has allowed me the opportunity to go back and retry these ships, as well as work on my poor little gearing captain that I had not fully leveled up. So it has gave me the opportunity to do that. Which is really, really nice. Speed on the Fletcher, decent, not overly impressive, kind of middle of the road. Can get up to about 39 knots. Really impressive. Has a fantastic smoke screen. Torpedoes hit really hard. You do have 2 sets. They do go out to 10.5 kilometers once upgraded. They originally start off with 9.2. So very beneficial go for torpedoes. And the other, I guess, good aspect, it has a low detect, 5.9 kilometer detect. Actually, no. Yeah, 5.8 kilometer detect. Sorry about that. 5.8 kilometer detect. So it does make it very, very stealthy. Its AA bubble is actually 5.8, but its detectability from air is 2.6. So you do have a little bit of a kind of buffer. And I highly recommend keep that in mind whenever you're playing destroyers. Always turn off your AA. The closer the planes are, the less likely they're really able to get off the attack like they would like. So you can use that to your advantage. It also helps prevent you from being detected very easily. So always keep that in mind whenever playing. Now, when playing with another destroyer, you always have the issues of any torpedoes that might be dropped by your friendly. Fortunately, I trust Louise very, very well. We always have a constant communication. He's actually a very excellent DD player because I'm generally the generalist in my clan. I play every ship class, I play every ship. So I kind of am the generalist whenever playing World of Warships. So, always constant communication, because once those torpedoes are in the water, obviously they're not friendly to anyone, except for obviously the ship that fired them. So you do have to be careful. As you can see, the carrier is constantly focusing on Wheeze, which is not particularly great, because obviously that does mean he is taking a lot of hits. Guns on the Fletcher, as probably many people are very well aware of, they're floaty. They fire fast, which is good. But they are very floaty. They're not very fantastic at long range. And one good tactic is whenever you're getting attacked by planes, you always want to turn the majority of your ship towards the attacking planes, because obviously you indicate the sector. Because if the planes go on the other side, you're not doing as much damage as you would like. The reload time on the sectors is fairly quick for destroyers compared to, say, like battleships. So you do have a decent amount of time for that sector to essentially come back off cooldown. It's about 10 seconds. It's not too terribly that long. Please obviously has requested that he kind of pull back, let me take the front. Now, fortunately for us, the fact that both of the destroyers, because we're 2 of the 3 destroyers in this battle, we kind of pushed out and kind of did our own thing, which is fortunate because it could have easily turned to the worst for our team, because we're really not supporting the team, and this is not exactly how you want to play destroyers. You don't want to be not supporting your friendly team, because obviously the enemy destroyers are going to be out and about and dealing damage. So maybe not the best battle that really portrays the normal destroyer play, I guess is the best way to say it. So you got to keep this in mind. I found it funny because what's currently happening is we're just kind of chasing down the carrier in a tier 9 battle. I feel like we're actually in tier 4 right now, but it's still fun because the Fletcher does have really good AA. And currently we're actually shooting, currently at 28 planes right now, which is getting us close to the AA defense medal that is in the game. That does require 35 planes shot down in a battle. So we're actually fairly close to that at the moment. Obviously, the CV doesn't like us very much. We're getting focused down. Now, we do have a Massachusetts also coming up, and there we go. Weeze actually earns the AA Defense Expert right there. He does pop his smoke screen, which does mean that I'm actually the one detecting everything, and as well as being detected by everything. Still being focused down by 2 ships. They're really not liking us. Fortunately, that Mosfa is very far away. And as always, whenever you're playing destroyers, kiting is generally the best idea. Using your stealth to your advantage also is the best idea. Another good thing about the Fletcher versus, say, a destroyer like the Kitakaze, it's very maneuverable. It can swivel, has very good turning circle radius, has a good turn rudder shift time on it. So it's very nimble. That works to its advantage, making it a very good close quarter destroyer. And that's essentially what the USN destroyers are best at, is very close quarters, versus, say, the French destroyers. Albeit French destroyers do have the reload booster, but they don't have the very fast turning guns, and they don't always have the very fast reloading guns as well. Versus, obviously, also the Russian destroyers is generally what a lot of people think of whenever they talk about close quarter versus long range destroyers. Now, as you can see, our team is winning this. They're doing a very, very fantastic job. Keeping in mind that 2 of their tier 9s kind of went off chasing the carrier. Obviously, the carrier is not particularly happy trying to take out the enemy destroyers. And because the Massachusetts did push up this way, it did slow us down, which has allowed the Shikaku the ability to run away as quickly as possible. And the Shikaku is actually a fairly fast destroyer, or fast carrier. So it has had ample opportunity to actually get away from there. And obviously is now beginning to focus the Turpits and the Harikaze. And unfortunately for that, Harikaze is in slightly dire circumstance at the moment, especially with a Mosfa right there. Another major benefit of the USN destroyers is their very long smoke screen, long duration. Honestly, I probably will be switching out Superintendent. I do run Superintendent on this captain. Probably going to switch that out because the smoke screen, yes, is nice. I still have 4 charges. I've yet to use them for this battle. But back in the day, a good combination was USN DDs and USN cruisers, because they do have the radar and can run hydro. You can always lay down that smoke screen and provide basically a cloud for those USN destroyer or cruisers to just open up and pummel the enemy. So smokescreen can be used for team play. Always, you use it for defensive as normal, but it's a two-way street. It does mean that once you lay down a smokescreen, you can't see out, they can't see you. Kind of a loss. So you want to use your smokescreen to its full advantage as always. As you can see, we're essentially winning this. All that's left on the enemy team is the Lo Yang that's going after our carrier, and the Shikaku, which is still running away. Now I'm actually currently at 34 planes, and remember, to get a AA defense expert, you need 35 planes. And fortunately for us, the CV, who is still running away, is gratefully going to be providing us that last additional plane. I really don't want the battle to end quite yet. Would like to do a little bit more damage, so that's why I'm not going towards the cap. Yes, I know, once again, I'm not playing to the objective, so that's something to keep in mind. There, I probably should have actually had my AA off. There we go. AA defense expert. Thank you very much. So yeah, probably could have held that off just a little bit longer till they got a little bit closer. Less of an opportunity for them to react. Rocket planes do require a little bit of time to actually set up, so you do have to keep that in mind. Fortunately for me, Shikaku has armor-piercing dive bombers, and they aren't particularly fantastic against destroyers. Rocket planes are very deadly. They can chunk you for a huge amount of damage. And always, Fletcher is very, very nimble, so you can generally dodge any dive bombers whenever playing. But that's essentially it for the battle. Unfortunately for me, that Shikaku is just fast enough to actually run away that I'm not able to get up with them. Yes, I know this is not a particularly fantastic battle that shows off normal destroyer play, but I thought it was very fun at the very least, and that's generally the best way to play this game. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what you saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaichen.